"Lady, your eggs," he yelled, diving forward just in time to catch the carton before it shattered on the pavement. She froze, heels skidding, bags ripping, and before she could object, he was already kneeling, collecting her groceries like it was instinct. She looked like she'd walked out of a magazine, hips that turned heads, curves sculpted with purpose, and eyes shielded by oversized designer shades. But there was no glamour in her panic as soup cans rolled across the parking lot. "I'm okay," she barked, her voice sharp, defensive, though her shaking hands told a different story. "Didn't ask," he mumbled, tossing the final can into the bag with quiet grace. His hoodie was worn, jeans tattered at the knees, and the little girl gripping his side clutched a doll with half its hair gone. They were clearly scraping by, not thriving, yet he smiled. Exhausted, kind, unfazed by her edge. That moment could have ended there. Two strangers, one clumsy encounter, but destiny had other ideas. 2 days later, they met again, same parking lot, different mess. She was at the pharmacy counter, frazzled, jabbing at her phone. He stood behind her in line, holding cold medicine and cradling his drowsy daughter on his hip. She glanced back, rolling her eyes. "You again?" He smirked. "Guess I'm your stalker now. Left my superhero cape at home today." For the first time, she smiled. The universe kept pushing them together. They bumped into each other weekly. Outside daycare, at the supermarket, even once at the laundromat. Each time, their talks stretched longer, their banter gentler, their guards lower. She learned he was Mark, a single dad juggling 2 jobs since his wife passed. He learned she was Elise, or so she said. She never mentioned family, dodged personal questions, always redirecting with humor or flattery. Then came the rainy night. He was walking Sophie home, his jacket draped over her small frame, both drenched to the core. She pulled over without hesitation. "Get in," she commanded, unlocking the passenger door. Mark paused, pride clashing with instinct, but Sophie's shiver and whimper settled it. The car was silent, heavy, until Sophie coughed, and Elise reached back, brushing her hair gently. That small act broke the wall. Coffee came next, then deep conversations, then moments that felt like home. Burnt dinners, bedtime stories, grocery trips where no eggs hit the ground. She found herself laughing like she hadn't in years. He never saw her as a prize, only as a woman, a real one. But she held a secret. Her name wasn't Elise. She was Clara Vaughn, the Clara Vaughn, one of Hollywood's most coveted actresses, once gracing every cover and fueling every tabloid. 2 years prior, a public betrayal and a breakdown had sent her into hiding. She vanished, altered her appearance, and had been evading the spotlight ever since. Mark didn't know her, and she dreaded the day he would. That day arrived one night after tucking Sophie into bed. Clara stood in Mark's kitchen, ready to confess, but before she could, headlights poured through the windows, followed by cameras. Paparazzi shouted. The world had tracked her down. In moments, their quiet life shattered. Mark stared at her like she was a stranger. "Who are you?" he asked, voice fragile. She tried to explain. She never meant to deceive. With him she felt authentic again, but it was futile. His life became a spectacle, his daughter's face splashed across gossip sites, and the man who trusted no one had been hurt by the one he let close. He walked away. Months passed in silence. Clara retreated, but this time not to hide, to write, to speak, to own her story. Her memoir, raw and honest, hit shelves like a storm, a confession of fame, pain, and the quiet man who taught her what love without pretense felt like. Mark read every word, hands shaking, tears falling for the woman behind the facade. One spring afternoon, he stepped into their favorite coffee shop, and there she was, no makeup, no fame, Just Clara, smiling behind the counter, wearing an apron, serving lattes like an ordinary person. She looked up, hesitant. "Thought I'd try being real again," she whispered. Sophie ran to her like no time had passed. Mark followed, no words necessary. That night, they didn't discuss fame or cameras, just groceries, bedtime stories, and second chances. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories begin with dropped eggs and hidden truths and end with the bravery to be real. Before we wrap up, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. If this story moved you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.